Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grinjinski, but you could call me Grizzer, and this is the spot where you can pop in and get caught up in some of the latest news, the headlines, the tidbits, the talk that's all tied to our favorite team in the NFL. That is, of course, the Cleveland Browns, and then for no extra charge, we'll throw in our takes and opinions along the way. Thank you to everybody who's liked our previous episodes, all of you who have subscribed to the channel so far. Appreciate it. We're almost there, almost to 15,000 subscribers. And thank you to everyone who get your comments down there in the viewer comment section, not only here on YouTube, but also Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We have a Facebook page, Brown's Latest Podcast Facebook page. And we have an X and a TikTok account that are tied to the nickname Grizzer. Grizzer21 on X and TikTok. Grizzer and the number 21. Special thanks to Kalshi for sponsoring our show all throughout the football season. Use the code FANARCHFOOTBALL. Get $10 when you trade 10. Now, coming up on the show. Okay, we had Meltdown Monday, but now it's time to start to come to grips with this quarterback decision. And I got to tell you, I found something that kind of tells me that our quarterback situation may not be as bad as a lot of people are trying to make it out to be. We have help on the edge that has arrived. Or has it? We'll find out. And then in the viewer comments, why the glass is not half full today. What are you talking about? Glass is always half full. Well, most of the time it's half full on this show. I mean, I'm the positive Browns podcaster. I always try to, that's what we're going to do today. We are going to take a deep breath and look at this quarterback decision in a positive light. We got to come to grips with this, folks, because it's not going away. It's not changing. So it's like the Guardians are the Guardians now. For all the folks who, can't let that go. I mean, the decision is in. But the good thing about this, like the Guardians, that's never changing. But this, more than likely, is going to change. But I've got opinions on that. First things first, Watson addressing the whole, let's take the fans out behind the woodshed comments from Saturday. I mean, he was almost there. The problem is he never apologized. What he said is, I mean, I appreciate this. My emotions got the best of me. My comments weren't intended to go at any of the fans in the city. That's not true. I understand the frustration. So he had some of what he should have said in there. I understand the fans are frustrated. The quarterback situation here hasn't been stable in the last gazillion years. I mean, that all was, but no, he didn't apologize. He didn't come out and say, I can't tell you how sorry I am, Browns fans, for what I said, but I've gone through a lot. I mean, he could have, throwing some tears or something, man. This was your one shot to try and save a little face. It was complete damage control. And you knew they were in damage control on Sunday because Monken typically talks around noon, 1 o'clock on that Zoom call, pushed back to 3:30. Because I was talking to the greatest talent evaluator that only we know, Thrasol Trasavulu, and I said, hey, they're in damage control mode right now because that press conference was pushed back to 3:30. So they're trying to, they're getting everything, they're getting all their ducks in a row because he knows he wanted to name Watson the starter, and now he's done this, and now he's got to figure out what's he gonna do. Can we still throw him out there? Watson's probably like, look, I'm 60 years old. We're going with him. That's what I want to do, But the big question is, he said Monken gave zero consideration to the fans and the reaction to what Watson said, and he said this isn't going to be a week-to-week thing, but this for sure, the Browns have 100% requested to start on the road. There's no doubt because they knew back in the owners' meetings. I mean, this has been out there since the owners' meeting that Watson could have been, but everybody thought that he would do the right thing. And then I do think it was a competition. I do think that they thought Watson would just be so much better than Shedeur that there wouldn't even be a question. But they came to find out that that wasn't the case. And Shedeur kept it close. And so the first question to address is why not go with Shedeur? And I honestly believe that it's the stuff that we don't see, the stuff that they don't talk about, the stuff that happens in the meetings, maybe some of that pre-snap stuff, the operational stuff. Although I don't necessarily see it on the field myself, but there's got to be something. The intangibles have to be the reason. And whether or not it's, I don't, like Thrasso made the point of, like, when he missed the coin toss, Shedeur missed the coin toss in the preseason game, does that kind of weigh on the head coach? I don't know. I'm not saying it did or it should, but we don't know what intangibles Monken is looking for that Shedeur obviously doesn't have right now. But here's the thing, like the way to look at this is the way that Raymond Morris wrote in the comments. This is a pre-viewer comment, but Raymond Morris, and I thought this is where I think everybody probably should try to get to. I'm not saying you're going to get there today, but we've got until September 13th to get there. But this is where Raymond Morris, trying to help talk all of us off the ledge, says, I took some time to think about the decision. I'm getting on board. I think Shedeur is going to play the majority of the games, but Monken is treating Sanders like a developmental quarterback and not an incumbent starter. I think that's okay because we need to see Shedeur develop from what we saw last year and in the preseason if he's going to lock the job down long term. I'm guessing this is more about making sure Shedeur isn't put in a bad spot than wanting Deshaun over him for the year. 2 tough road games to start isn't necessarily going to be great for a young quarterback in a new system. And all of that is true. And so, deep breath. And we've been saying this all along. Like, you have to trust in Monken. What honestly really just threw this whole thing into a tailspin was Watson's comments after the game. If he keeps his mouth shut, the other thing is he should have played better. Because I also think that this whole thing has thrown Monken's plan of playing the starters in the first quarter of that New England game on Thursday out the window. I think Watson's antics cost Monken a chance to have his starters work together for a quarter. He said we'll name the quarter and that quarterback will start that Thursday night game. He said that back when all this started. He said the QB1 would start that New England preseason game, and now he threw it all out. Dylan Gabriel's going to start, play the first half. Taylor Green's going to play the second half. The only good thing about this is we get to see more of Taylor Green. But I honestly believe Monken was just like, because you cannot run him out there. There is absolutely no possible way you could run him out there at home on Thursday night. And therein lies the problem. You're starting quarterback. You can't put him in front of the home crowd. You can't. Only in Cleveland does this stuff happen. Only in Cleveland. This isn't only in Cleveland. And here's what I'm going to say. So get on board with, this is more about developing Shedeur. Give him a little more time to develop. Although I'm like, I still, and this is why I kept saying, doesn't it now, does it make more sense to anybody who didn't think I was on the right track when I said you start Shedeur, and then if you're forced to go to Watson, completely different situation. Because if you have nowhere else to go, you go to Deshaun. But now, like, to start Deshaun, but then people try to apply it the same way. Because here's the thing. It's a loser's mentality to think Watson is just going to go out there and flame out. We don't want that. We want to win games. And so does Monken. And part of the reason he chose Watson is because he said it himself, Monken. He said, I'm not looking for the next job. I'm 60 years old. He's like, this is the job that I got. I mean, I'm just going to try to hold on to this one. This might be my one and only shot. So I got to get it right. So there is definitely something that Shedeur in the Monken offense is missing. So, but here's the only in Cleveland thing that's going to happen for sure, because this is what happens in Cleveland. This is the kind of Watson goes out there and he will ball out. You watch. This is only in Cleveland will this happen. The guy who was a big swing and a miss goes out, rips the fans. Nobody likes. Everybody hates him. Nobody wants to see him again. He gets the starting job and he will absolutely, because only in Cleveland do things like this happen, will he go out there and get us to the playoffs. So there you go. I mean, you know, and that's where you have to live there as a Browns fan. You have to, let's go glass half full and say it's the best of both worlds. You've given them all this money. You got a quarterback coach who knows how to develop quarterbacks. You got a quarterback that fits the system. You got a lot of things that have lined up here. You got a great running game, a revamped offensive line. The wide receiver room is off the charts. More on them in a minute. But accentuate the positives of what's happening right now. And so that's where I'm going. I am going down that road. It's going to take me a little bit of time, but you got to let Watson win over. It's just a better place to live at this point, because there's no point in getting yourself so wrapped up and so frustrated. Everybody is on the same page with this decision, but we love the Brownies, man. They just make it hard to root for them sometimes. Well, maybe more than sometimes, but that's where we're at. Coming to grips with it. That's what I'm doing, slowly but surely, and I'm living on the hill of, you know what? It's the best case scenario for Shedeur. Give him a little more time. And then, I just like the Deshaun Watson still absolutely has to be 2 games. If he goes out there and flames out in those first 2 games, you can't wait. You've got to go get him, man. You cannot leave him out there longer than 2 games. Now, one thing that happens to me, the older I get, it's the longer it takes to get the weight off. Sometimes, I mean, I still work out. I do all the things that I used to do. Maybe not as much. I mean, the knees aren't the same, and I still run, and I don't do as much. But I've changed my diet. I'm a vegetarian. I'm trying intermittent fasting. I'm trying to do all these things because dad bods, they happen, man. There's no way around it. The older you get, and so it's because our bodies just don't burn fat as efficiently as we were used to back in our 20s and even our 30s. So, and you need something. You need something to help your testosterone a little bit, to help the fat burning capabilities of your body, and that's where Mars Men comes in. Mars Men, which I have it right here, is a testosterone support for men. And I will tell you this, it's a money back guarantee. You get 90 days, you try it. If you don't think it works for you, if you don't feel any difference, I've been doing it now for a week and I can tell you, I feel a difference. Where I feel it is especially around the midsection, because that's where I get concerned. I'm like, and I'm looking at the scale and I'm like, man, oh man, I guess I can't burn it. I said, calories in, calories out. Maybe I'm eating less. I'm trying to but I'm like, I need something to help burn that fat. And that's why the intermittent fasting, that's what it does. Your body starts burning through the fat after it gets through the calories. Once you're, and once you get through all your calories and it starts burning the fat, that's when the weight starts coming off. But getting this testosterone support helps with that. And there's Tongue Cat Ali. It's all natural, vegetarian. And what I like is it smells like coffee. The pills smell like coffee. I love it. Every time I open it up, and there you go. There's your, and they easy to take, and they are just filled with all natural ingredients, gluten-free, hormone-free, which I love, vitamin D, vitamin K, zinc, taurine. all kinds of stuff. K1 and K2 are in there. And so all of this combines to help your body burn fat. And so 90-day money back guarantee. If you don't think it's working for you, send it back. You'll get your money back. But 91% of users report positive results. They have reviews on their website, mengotomars.com. That's where you need to go. Now, if that's not good enough, how about this? For a limited time, watchers of the Browns or listeners, if you're watching or listening to this, the Browns' latest podcast, the Fan Arch Browns' latest podcast, you'll get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts if you go to mengotomars.com right now. Go to mengotomars.com for 50% off and get the 3 free gifts when you check out. After your purchase, they will ask you, how did you hear about Marsmen? Please tell them Brown's latest podcast. Support our little show. But I'm telling you guys, it works for me. Men, if you're over 30, over 40, it's not going to get any better. I can tell you, trust me. And right now, I can tell you, only a weekend, and I'll keep updating you as I continue to take. I'm in for the long haul. So Mars Men, love it. mengotomars.com. Get your 50% off for life, plus the money back guarantee. All right, wide receiver room. We told you, we said, okay, the quarterback situation, you have the wide receiver room, which is better than we've seen in years right now. And another thing that told me that, okay, our quarterback situation, I don't think it's as bad as people are trying to make it out to be. I mean, is it perfect? No, but whose quarterback situation is? All right, maybe Buffalo. But if you look at it, remember I always say you got to walk around the house to get the whole story. And if you want the whole story of the Cleveland Browns, look at the wide receiver room. Because when you look, and I stumbled on this doing some research for fantasy football, and look at this. Look at the top 10 rookie. This is the rookies in fantasy football. Our 2 guys are right there at 7 and 8. Concepcion and Boston right there. They got Jeremiah Love 1, Carnell Tate 2. Mekhi Lemon 4. I don't know about that. I think Concepcion better than Lemon. Plus, he's already hurt. Lemon's already hurt. So, but our 2 guys are in the top 10. So, what's that mean? Got to have somebody throw him the ball, right? You can't have 2 top 10 rookie receivers if they don't have a guy that is capable of getting them the ball. I love them both in fantasy. I really love Concepcion. I actually did a draft for Noah. You know Noah, my son Noah. He was on a European trip with his buddies, and he had a draft over the weekend. He couldn't do it. So I said, I got you. Don't worry. And I'm telling you, man, actual and factual. I told you, Judkins, Concepcion, Boston, Fannin. Those are the guys absolutely put on your fantasy team. I got them all. I got the handcuff with Judkins and Sampson for them. And I got Concepcion and Boston for them. I took them both. Boston was still sitting there in like one of the last rounds. I'm like, I'm all over this. So he's also, I mean, if you ask me, he's set. I mean, I think he liked what I got. It's a 2 quarterback thing. It's a different league. But anyway, I love fantasy drafts. I love doing it. But I also love the Browns wide receiver room. And these wide receivers are going to help Deshaun Watson play better when these guys are out there. And so you saw it. You saw what they did in preseason. And I mean, the sky is the limit for this wide receiver room. And when you're looking at all these fantasy rankings and you're looking at the rookie rankings and you have both of our wide receivers in the top 10 consistently, that tells you how much better this wide receiver room has gotten. And I'm leaning on that. I mean, Watson, you can't ask for anything more. I mean, this is it, man. That's why you only get 2 games, Watson. You get 2 games. 2 games. You better go 25 for 25 for 375 yards and 4 touchdowns in each of those games. No interceptions. That's what you get. Because you got the weapons, you got the running game, you got the offensive line, you got the coach, you got it all. Everything is there for you to be successful. So the leash is that long, Deshaun. That's what you get. That's what you get. You got to wow me, man. You got to wow me. All right, we got some help on the edge. Good news, Mike Hall Jr. and Isaiah McGuire. Now, Mike Hall Jr. working at defensive end yesterday. And so I like it. I like the idea because Malik Collins is back. And so you have Malik Collins and Kalia Davis to help fill in the middle there. And if Mike Hall moves out to the edge and can help there, that is the perfect scenario because you don't have to go out and sign anybody else. And you don't have to, it just alleviates a big problem because that opens up a spot on the inside, another roster spot that you could fill. But the Browns, Gristadamus showed up because remember on Saturday, I wanted to talk about this yesterday, but with the decision and everything that happened yesterday, I couldn't do it. But Gristadamus, I told you about this guy on Saturday, and the Browns went out and got him on Sunday. His name is Derek Barnett. He was with the Houston Texans. So was Deshaun. But last year, 5 sacks, a PFF grade of 67, the pressure percentage 11.4. But the asterisk you see there to me is important. He was coached by Jacques Césaire, our coach in 2023. So he has familiarity with the system and what Césaire wants to do. And I think that's a big thing. I think that, he'll come in and I think that speeds up the learning curve. And so I think that that was the best of the bunch. When we looked at, remember, Leonard Floyd was out there and Hassan Reddick and Bosa's going to retire, so that's not an option. But, this was we were lucky to get him at this point, this late in training camp. But the other thing to remember is this, folks. We are, by the end of this week, a lot is going to happen. Because don't forget, Cutdown Day is Sunday. 6 p.m. And so after that game on Thursday, after those final preseason games finish up, things are going to start happening. Trades will start happening. You already saw a little bit. There's some trades being made, but guys are going to start getting cut. Guys are going to start getting picked up. And so Andrew Berry will be working the waiver wire, and he'll get, if there's somebody out there who's a younger edge that he thinks can help this team, he'll go out and get him. And so on Monday, the waiver claims, and then don't forget the season actually starts the 9th. We don't play until the 13th, but the season starts on Wednesday this year, man. We are taking over every single day of the NFL, but that is going to be, this is going to be a big week. The end of this week and over the weekend, going to be a lot of moves, including what do you do with Dillon Gabriel? He's going to start that game, play the first half. If he shows enough, can you ship him off and maybe get a 4th round pick for him? I'm dreaming, but will he go? I think he will, because they're not getting rid of Taylor Green. That's for sure. And I don't think you're keeping 4 quarterbacks on this roster in any way, shape, or form. And so it'll be interesting to see how quickly they can move Dillon Gabriel. If he plays well, we'll have to see. We will have to see what happens there. Now, you could look up on Kalshi what the odds are and what the percentage is of the potential of Dillon Gabriel being traded. I don't know if there's a market for it. You have to check to see if there's a market for it. But on Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house and the probability changes. You can buy in and out of your position, trade the draft pick, the game, and more. You could do lots of things on Kalshi as far as making trades on entertainment, sports, politics. You can trade on anything. Download the Kalshi app and use the code FANARCHFOOTBALL. You'll get $10 when you trade 10. KALSHI, Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 and over only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, go to kalshi.com/regulatory. Now, one place we don't need to check the markets to see if they're 100% on track is the viewer comments. They're always 100% on track. And we will start today. I got to tell you, there were so many. I tried to pick ones that kind of gave a sentiment of you could just categorize, it was Oh, a lot of people had opinions on what happened yesterday. But remember, I'm moving forward. I am moving forward. The faster you move forward, the better off we're all going to be. And we'll start with one Sputnik who says, "Have you ever tried to quit a job, tell the organization to go blank themselves, only for them to give you a promotion?" Well, Deshaun Watson just did that. He kind of did, man. And I mean, and take it. How about this? Not only did he tell the organization to go blank themselves and try to quit his job, but he told everybody who's associated with that organization that you guys all stink too. I hate you guys too because you guys are disrespectful to me. He told all them too. That's us, the fans. I mean, only in Cleveland. Well, I mean, I don't know how else to sum it up. Only in Cleveland. Pure Destiny, C5W, Grizz. You said it all. Your energy matched my feelings. Yeah, it was a meltdown Monday yesterday. Your energy matched my feelings. A few months ago, when JW came out with soft launching Watson, I knew, but I was in denial. Monken had me believing this time the kid would get a real shot. I know Shedeur will get his shot, but I truly believe the Browns organization is too dysfunctional for him to succeed here. They can't even read the room. Pure Destiny, yeah. Remember, because when JW was on that radio station, they're talking about everything else, the stadium and this and that, and it was unprovoked. It was as if like he looked down at his talking points and went, "Oh, I got to mention Deshaun." And he was, "Oh, hey, did you see Deshaun? Deshaun looking pretty good." Yeah. I was like, where did that come from? And remember, we talked about it. Go back and find the show. I said, they are soft launching Watson. I'm like, they are trying to get our heads wrapped around the fact that he has got a chance to be the quarterback again. And that's exactly when you go back and look at it, the signs were all there. I mean, I kept trying, like, what made the most sense, start Shedeur, go with the upside if they're close. And to me, it looked close. The other thing is, I kept saying, to me, it makes way more sense to start Shedeur and go back to Watson if you're forced to. If you're forced to go to him, the fans are like, all right, well, we got nowhere else to go. But in this case, especially after what happened Saturday, oofa. Jim Slatz, 69-26. So why would Haslam want Watson to play if he thinks he's not going to want to come back to the Browns next year? It can't be money because whether Watson plays or even gets cut, his salary is already guaranteed and a sunk cost. I thought everyone in the media thought that Haslam demanded the Browns draft Sanders. So why didn't he demand Sanders play? He's guaranteed for a few more years, like it or not. This was a coach's decision. Haslam did not demand Sanders be drafted. Remember, as he fell, Andrew Berry called him and said, called him on Friday night and said, hey, if he is still available at a certain point, I'm thinking about grabbing him. And Haslam told Berry, yeah, cool. That's cool with me. Then Berry called him again on Saturday, said, hey, I'm going to take him. I mean, he's there. Like, why not? And Haslam was like, yeah, do your thing, man. Like you're the football guy. Do it. And then he took Shedeur. It wasn't a demand. It was a conversation. They were on the same page because Stefanski, he had Gabriel. And with DePodesta out of the way, Berry was like, hey, this is what I want to do. And this is how, and Haslam gave him his blessing. It was like, he went to him and got it. He wanted his blessing and he got it. That's how it all went down. And so Shedeur, Haslam like Shedeur. Andrew Berry likes Shedeur. I'm telling you, it's got to be some intangibles. I mean, he's only got 7 games experience and he got nothing out of last year thanks to Stefanski. So he's still raw in some ways. And so just got to get him up to speed on some other things. That's the only thing. With Watson, it's feast or famine with Watson. So there's that. And if it's famine, you get Shedeur anyway. Roger Johnson, 2080. This is an ownership call. JW gave it away during that interview. Yeah, he did. Now you look back on it. Mike Salvia, 95-48. I bet the medical team told ownership Watson won't make it through a game without an injury. It's the only thing that makes sense. A lot of people think they're just trying to get that insurance money. Chim, 4801. Boycott the games. Don't watch. Don't go. Can't. Have to. Sorry. Buckeye, 03. I'll be in Jacksonville and Tampa booing the crap out of Monken and Watson. I might be in Tampa too. There's a chance. I might be at the game Thursday night too. There's a chance. Larry Ambrose, 2660. He's the starter, so we have to live with it. Who knows how long he will last? I want the team to win, and apparently they think they can't win with Shedeur, at least right now. They got to get him up to speed. That is where I'm living, Larry. I'm with you. And we will end with Waxing Gibbous 123, who says, the glass is not half full today. I think the glass is broken. No, the glass is half full. We have repaired the glass. We're going half full. Come to grips with it, folks. We got to move forward. It's the only chance we have of keeping our sanity. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you so much for joining us. Support our sponsors, Marsman and Kelsey. I really appreciate it. And hey, it's the first day of the rest of our Browns' lives. We'll see. What happens with Watson. But we're going to try to win with Watson. We'll see how it goes. All right, go Browns. We'll see you next time.